Aloha, welcome to Talk Story Thursday, presented by the Sandwich Islands Social Network. It's a series of interesting, fun conversation sharing the lives and journey of people in our island community, wherever they may be. The Sandwich Islands Social Network is a nonprofit organization serving Hawaiians and Hawaiians at heart away from their island home, and we gratefully accept tax deductible donations to support the work we do in the community. And you can see in the upper right hand corner of your screen sandislands.org to find out exactly how you can be a supporter of the Sandwich Islands Social Network. It is a 501c3 organization, and all of your donations and contributions are tax deductible. We've got a very, very special Talk Story Thursday this morning. Very, very, very happy to have two Vahine on board for our Talk Story Thursday. And there we are. Good morning. Aloha kakayaka. First of all,
Good morning.
kind of early for
Good
Kumu.
morning. Aloha.
Yeah, kind of early for Kumu Mele Kahalepuna Chun over there. She is in Kaimoki on the slopes of Wilhelmina Rise. Enjoying. How's the view from your? You can see. You can see all the way.
I can see from Diamond Head all the way to Barber's Point.
Oh, nice place for Gopaina over there, yeah, Kumarona. Um, that's going to be our stop. Thanks for the invitation. Next time we're on Oahu, we're going to head to Kumu Mele's. uh, so thank you so much for joining us. I know it's a little bit early in the morning over there in Hawaii on the Aina, but thank you so much for being a part of our talk. Uh, sorry, Thursday. And Kumu Rona Ko and myself are in Ventura County in California on the continent. Kumu Rona is the Kumu Hula of Halau Hula o Pualani Na'au Ali Oha, and she has she will be talking about the work that Kumarona does in Camarillo in the Ventura County as well. So coming up, and the reason why we're really here is to uh, learn and to let our friends know about a wonderful Lehulu workshop that is being presented by Lehulu of California and also Kumurona and her halal in Ventura, coming up on October 14th and 15th. And Kumu Mele is going to travel to us and to share her mana'o and her ike, all the knowledge and on Hawaiian featherwork. I'd like to just go back, Kumu Mele, a little bit, if you can, and give us a for those of us who may be watching right now, and others are going to be jumping in, and we'll acknowledge them in just a moment. About the art of lei hulu, the kind of the background, the history, the significance to Hawaiians and to the culture.
Well, sure. Aloha, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Happy to be here. It's a beautiful day in Hawaii. Um, so, feather work. When it comes to feather work and our kupuna and our history, it was very important. Reserved, though, for our ali'i. And people, say, well, how come only they could? Well, it was a very intense process to get the feathers in order to make the feathered adornments, the lei or the ahu'ula or capes, or to make mahiole, the helmets, and so forth. So, with all of that work that needed to be done, it wasn't just for the everyday people, you know. So it was strictly ali'i who were able to wear the feathered products, and it was only the men who did the work, not the women. So the men were the gatherers. They were the kia manu, the ones who went out into the forest to patiently wait for birds to land on a branch in order to pluck feathers individually from the bird. It was the men who, did the bundling and the making of the articles themselves. And then, we only had certain birds in our forest areas. And the birds were of certain colors. They were red. We know that Amakihi was was Amakihi, there's Elepaio, there's Apopane, there's Iivi, and so many more. But the more common bird feather colors were red. Um, there was a greenish, there was black. The least common of the colors were yellow. So yellow was reserved for those of a higher ranking because they were fewer. Yeah. So whenever you saw an article, an ahu'ula, you saw a mahiole, you saw a lei, anything that had yellow in it, you knew that that person was not just ali'i, of course, but they were of a higher ranking status than others. The more yellow, the higher because of the yellow. But eventually, after foreigner arrival, after the Westerners came into the islands, featherwork kind of, it wasn't lost, but you didn't see it as often. Um, our ali'i oftentimes gave their feathered articles away as makana, as gifts to our po'ehaole. Um, and that's why you find so much featherwork in museums around the world, is because of this gifting that was done. Um, but eventually, after the arrival of Paniolo, after the arrival of, well, before the Paniolo, after the arrival of our missionaries and so forth, when needles and things were introduced, then featherwork started to change because now we had needle and we had thread. So sewing became a part of featherwork. It wasn't just the tying that we did originally. In fact, our Paniolo are the ones who are credited for creating Humu Papa, or the hat band, as people call it commonly. But I'm going to educate you. It is Humu, 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 like the Humu Humu Nuku Nuku Apua, a fish, So Humu, and then Papa. There you go, Kamaka. Humu Papa. So Humu is to sew or to stitch, and Papa is something flat. So
Interesting.
this, yeah, That's this is the a more modern style of lehulu created by our paniolo to wear on their papale, you know. When they was going to go out and go meet a beautiful girl, they have to adorn their hat and, you know, look sassy, right? So they would use the birds, the pheasants and such that were there on the ranch. You know, they eat the meat, but you're not going to poho or waste the feathers. So they take the feathers and they make their humu papa for their papale, and there you go. So, you know, feather work has changed. Today, it still continues to evolve. We continue to be creative, and I encourage my haumana to always be creative. Don't get stuck in one thing. If you have ideas, let's try it. Let's do something else. Let's evolve because our kupuna would.
Very good. So going back to that, I found this, which was quite interesting here, on one of the illustrations, yeah, Kumu Mele. And this was according to the piece that I got. Um, it said that it was this chief, Hawaiian chief Kanaaina and his wife wearing featherwork, and this is an engraving done in 1844. Interesting. Yeah, look at that.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
Eight, and engrave all the
So
way back.
So Chief Kanaina, if that's who this is, interesting depiction, you know, in this
Engraving, yeah.
carving or this
Uh
painting of this, yeah, of Kanaina. So he is Kupuna to he is Kupuna to Prince Lot. No, I'm sorry, um, Kamehameha the Fourth. Yeah, Kamehameha the Fourth comes from Kanaina.
Wow.
Anyhow, so looking at this, interesting how they created the look of the feathers. So typically, yeah, an ahu'ula that Kanaina is wearing, and then the mahiole that he's wearing on his head, and then his wahine wearing lei on both the head, on the po'o and the a'i. Um, Quite interesting.
Right?
Although the style, what the style of lace she's wearing is quite true to what would have been in the patterning of
Uh-huh.
the feathers. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I saw that and I was curious on with your eyes, yeah, when you look at it, what you would see from it, and
Uh huh.
that's very, very interesting. Very, very good.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. um, so uh, definitely tied with Ali'i, and the fact that it has continued down to our day is a testament of the power of this art, this skill, right? And um, early on, very I love it. I read somewhere, Kumu, that the ones that would go out, the kane that would go out, they put sticky things on the branches to keep the birds that land on top, and then they would just grab it, just enough, and then let the birds go, because not enough to cripple the bird or to hurt the bird, because it would always want to renewable. Hawaiians are very akamai with the ecology and recycle, and I mean Hawaiians were recycling and reusing before all of this
Long
recycling and
before.
right? Yeah, really,
Right. Right.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes, so they would go out, the Kiamanu would go, and there was a plant, and we still have the plant today, and you can't miss it. It's called Papala Ke Pau. Papala Ke Pau. And when you're going hiking, you see a plant that everything is stuck to it, you know, insects, spiders, leaves, whatever are
Huh.
stuck to the plant. And they say, oh, that must be the papala kepau. Um, so they would take the sticky stuff from the papala kepau and put it on a branch, say the branch of a lehua tree, because the honey creepers, yeah, they would come and they would feed off the lehua flower. So when they would land to eat, then they would be stuck. But yeah, not tragic where they would, you know, it would hurt them,
Sure.
just enough that they couldn't fly away. and then they would go and pluck feathers, and then they would use something like kukui oil to get the sticky off, and then release the bird, let them go.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Yeah. So, let's talk a little bit about your Lehulu legacy now. Kumurona can tell of her legacy of how she became a kumuhula. And most kumuhulas, in fact, all kumuhulas, right, can tell you their legacy, can give you their lineage, and Kumurona can do that. So, as Kumumele, and by the way, Kumuhulu, just for the uh, Kumuhulu master feather worker, like Kumumele is. Kumuhula, it's Kumurona who's a master. I am Kumukolohe. Uh, Kumukolohe. So, just for information, get three Kumus on this program right now. I and I cannot tell you who I went uniki with, but anyway, Kumumele, tell us about your Hulu legacy.
I'm more than happy to. So I was born into this work of Namea Hulu. My tutu, her name was Mary Lou Kaleo Nahenahe Wentworth Peck Kekueva, and very proud of her entire name and would share it all the time. She, my tutu was very fair skinned and got teased a lot for being haole. So she always felt like she had to prove she was Hawaiian and did as much as she could to prove that. So back in 1955, my tutu ran for um, Aloha Week Queen. Now, she was not selected that year. She eventually did become Aloha Week Queen 20 years later in 1975. But so in 19 she didn't give up, this lady.
No.
We used to joke, yeah, people used to joke and say, "Oh, poor thing, Auntie Mary Lou." They felt bad for her trying so many times.
Aw.
They finally gave it to her. But anyway, so in 1955, when she was not selected for Aloha Week Queen, she volunteered to work with the wardrobe department for Aloha Week. And it was there with the wardrobe department that she learned feather work. So the head of the wardrobe department was a woman named Leilani Fernandez. Leilani Fernandez, they didn't just do clothing, but they also did all of the adornments. So they did the lehulu, also the kahili ku, the kahili standards that the court would carry to announce the arrival of the mo'i and such. So it was Auntie Leilani Fernandez was her teacher, teaching her how to make lehulu and such. And Tutu just loved it. She fell in love with it. It became her life's passion. Um, I will stop there, go back a little bit. Auntie Leilani Fernandez, many people know her family. If you're familiar with Lani Kuhonua Estate down here at Barbers Point, where Paradise Cove Luau is located, that is her ohana's kuleana. They take care of that area. Unfortunately, nobody in Auntie Leilani's family continues featherwork today. None of them have taken it on. But Auntie Leilani's Kumu Hulu was a man named Kupihea, and Kupihea was from Kauai. Beyond that, we don't know. That's as far back as we know in our Hulu lineage. But anyhow, so Tutu started teaching. Her first classes she taught at a little place on Ke'eaumoku Street, just outside of Ala Moana. And she actually taught at Auntie Mikey IU Lakes, or at the time was just Auntie Mikey IU, I believe. Anyway, Auntie Mikey's hula studio. You know, it was not halal yet. That was during the days they just called it studio.
Studio,
So
yeah.
Auntie Mikey's hula studio on KL Moku Street was where Tutu first started teaching classes. And then she moved to Bishop Museum. Um, of course, Bishop Museum originally was the Kamehameha School for boys. And so there were wooden structures around the museum building that were dormitories for the boys. So Tutu started teaching classes in dorm D, D like dog, and up on the second floor. And I remember running up and down those stairs going to um, bother her during her classes. Uh, then eventually the Atherton Halau was built next to the main museum, and my mom was the manager of Atherton Halau and moved Tutu from Dorm D into the Halau, and she continued to teach. Um, and Tutu taught until she couldn't anymore, you know. So that was her life. But my mom's journey with Hulu. My mom was Paulette Nohealani Kekueva Kahalepuna. She started feather work by choice when she was a senior at Kamehameha schools. She needed extra credit for her Hawaiian studies class. So she came home and she asked my tutu, she says, Mama, can you teach me how to make a feather lei? Because I need extra credit for this class. And my tutu started to cry. She said, I've been waiting for you to ask me.
Oh,
So that was mom's beginning. Yeah, that was mom's beginning with feather work. And she did it off and on. It wasn't her passion immediately like it was my tutus. But as time went on, she worked more and more alongside Tutu. They taught together, and eventually in 1990, they opened our shop that was originally on Kapuhulu Avenue. And it was, mom just thought it was time that people came to Tutu to learn, instead of Tutu going out there to everybody.
yeah.
Because every weekend we would pack up the station wagon, and the station wagon was so old, and the handle for the back door broke, so Grandpa had to put padlock on the door so it wouldn't fall open. And but every weekend we would pack up the car and go to a craft fair or go teach a class at a community center, or we were always going every weekend. But mom said, no, it's time that people come to you. You stop going out. And so the shop opened. And for me, my work with Hulu started when I was 5 years old. You know, in the middle of me running in and out of the house and whatever, playing with my brother, my tutu grabbed me, sat me down, and said, come here, you're going to do this. And so I made my first lei when I was 5, and have been doing it ever since. And so 50 years later, you know, I'm still at it, and just so honored to be able to continue this legacy that has been left with me by these two incredible women, who are, you know, they're both gone now. Um, and then I have a daughter who also got pulled by the ear, sit down, do this, when she was 5 years old. And so, you know, she helps me when I need help. But I come from a line of proud women and strong women that do this incredible work. And it's, like I said, it's an honor.
That's beautiful. Now, Auntie Mary Dworkovich, who lived on in Havia, the Big Island, yeah, she moved to Southern
Mhm.
California, I think 1963, as the story goes. And she was one that was taught by Auntie Mary, if I'm not mistaken. Am I correct? And
Correct.
she became a member of Hawaii Daughters Guild of California in 1972, and Auntie Auntie Mary Kovich was one of the first master kumu hula on the continent here, because that art had long been not taught or passed on here on the continent. All the while, you were building up all of your mana'o and all the skills and all the ike, and uh, it for a while it was dormant here, and it wasn't really until 1979, the early 80s, that that began to happen here in California, in California. And you, as Auntie Mary's uh, granddaughter, right? Kumu would be Auntie Mary's that's your granddaughter, and you carry that on today, that legacy. How amazing that is. In fact, Kumu Rona, you were sharing earlier before we went on the air that uh, was that what year did you say when you made your first? In fact, you were sharing your feather lay that you made. Was it 2017? Not 2017,
It
2007.
was, yeah, you put me on the spot. So this lei, I made, it was probably around 2007,
Okay.
and that was just a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
That was 2 or 3 years ago.
I think you're only 12. I think you were 12, I think, or younger.
Yeah, I don't know how I would have done as a 5 year old doing this lei, but we were lucky enough. Um, so my halau, the kumu that I was with at the time, kumu Sylvia Edgar, she was part of the Kulia Kapuna Vai, Southern California Kumu Hulu Association, and all of the halaus that were part of that in around 2007, we participated in a concert honoring Queen Kapiolani. And in that process, the the late Auntie Clarice Nuhi had come around and taught the halaus how to make this lei so we can all wear it appropriately. So to honor Queen Kapiolani. And so we sat in the halau and learned with it. We sat in the halau in Ventura and learned from Auntie Clarice, and it was new to all of us. And we're a practicing halau, and it means that our skill levels of lei making, right, are all different, and but we all did it, and we all had to do it to participate. And it was an honor to learn it and to wear it. When we make our own leis, it's much different, than going down and buying it or getting it on now Etsy or whatever. It's a completely different thing when you put your, what do we say, blood, sweat, and tears into a lei, and put that time and put our mana into it. So it was the first time I did it, and it was I have not had an opportunity, kumu or guidance. Um, so I think that Kumu Mele, we're really lucky that you would consider coming to our area to share this passion and this art form that, keeping it alive and bringing it from the past into our future, and making sure this is sustainable for our future. So I don't even know that it's ever come to our area. So in a public way where everyone can participate. So anyways, this was my thing, and it's kept in a very protected area, so nothing happens to it. But it's, if you can see, I bet Kumumele is looking at it and going, "Oh, I see right there." But yeah, so this was not a one and done. It was not, here's how to do it, go for it. There was a learning curve. This, probably around, I think you can tell at the beginning, I I I was not so good at it, but then I did have to back up, take off, um, and redo it in a proper way. And um, like right about here, it got really tight. So I don't know, who knows what was on my mind at the time, but we can tell inconsistencies and lack of focus when we're making lays, right?
You know, you're going to comment, Kumu Mele, on the lay.
Well, I was just gonna say, please bring that lei next week to the workshop because I would love to see it. You
Ah,
know,
nice.
like I would love to hold it in my hand and see it, please.
Absolutely.
Now,
Thank you.
Kumu Mele, we were talking about before Kumu Rona and I were talking with you about the benefits of um, the workshop, um, besides having an experience with a project, that artwork. Okay, this is what we're going to do. Here are the different pieces, and this is how we do it. But there's more than just that in terms of learning the skill. That there's more benefit that come from those workshops, right?
Absolutely. You know, it's doing I feel doing lehulu or doing any type of art form, handcraft, it takes more than just your hands doing the work. It takes this, the mind, it takes the heart. Um, it's an entire learning, um, because if your mind or your head is not right, if your heart is not right, then the hands aren't going to work right either. You know, so it's what a lot of people say when, for instance, when they come to my shop and they come for classes, they love how peaceful they feel. They love how comfortable they feel. And that's the whole thing because you need to be in a place of serenity in order for your work to come out beautifully, you know? So in a workshop situation, it's a little difficult. In a workshop situation, it's a little stressful because, people are like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. Or, oh, I'm not cutting this correctly. Oh, my feather's falling out. Oh, everything is negative, 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 negative. Well, so it helps if we put on a little bit of music, so that the mind, it helps with the mind. The mind starts to relax because the music is relaxing. And then pretty soon they might be singing along to the music. So that starts to heal the heart. And everything calms. And then people find they're making less mistakes. They feel better about it. Oh, excuse my popoki. What?
I love it. I love it. I'm missing chickens. No more chickens in a. No.
No more.
so so
Not up
there
here.
so there's more to it than just the feather lay itself, or the feather work that you're doing. There are many more benefits that come. There's a focus, there's a discipline, and
Mm-hmm.
there's more teaching than just that. So mahalo for sharing that. I have above us featherlegacy.com, where our friends can go and learn more about the work that Kumu Mele, and the shop and all the updates and a lot of pictures there. So you can go to featherlegacy.com to learn more about the work that Kumu Mele does as well. And so, yeah, Kumurona, I can't remember. I've been here on the continent 27 years now, and I can't remember. And that's how you and I began talking about, hey, what if we began our what if, yeah, Kumurona. We said, what would be really cool? I haven't for the whole time that I'm here, unless. And I remember asking you, did I miss it in the last 27 years? Did I miss that there was a Hulu here, and we both thought, no, not for a long time. So we're so blessed really, Kumu Mele, that you're going to be with us. We're excited about that. And uh, so you said one thing. Can I come if I've never done it before? I kind of scared over here. I'm not a crafty person. Well, I'm crafty, but not that kind of crafty person. What? What? A scared. What do you say to those people?
No, come, don't be scared. You know,
I,
just because maybe you're not the handiest with your hands, or maybe you feel like, oh, I get fat fingers. It's I cannot do little intricate. It doesn't matter. Everyone, anyone can do this with a little bit of help, and that's what I'm here for, is to help you and encourage you. And I have a little bit of tricks up my sleeves sometimes that can help you even more. So don't worry about your skill level. Skill level does not matter at all. Whether you're experienced, you're beginner, or total virgin, I actually prefer people that have never done any type of feather work before, because like anything else, if you come from another place or another school of learning feather work, and you've done, your style is different from what I teach, probably. So then I have to break you of the habits you learned, and I have to teach you mine, which is sometimes harder than teaching a brand new person that has no skill, you
makes
know.
makes makes a lot of
So
sense. There's some pictures
yeah.
of some of your workshops. Um, uh, you the cost of the workshop includes what kind of things here, Kumumele?
The cost of the workshop includes everything that you are going to need to complete your article, whether it is the lei kamoi or it is the kahili pa'alima. So you get the feathers, you get all of the materials. If it's kamoi, if it's a lei kamoi, then it's your yarn and your ribbon and your thread and your measure and your clipper, and and then with the kahili pa'alima, you get your feathers and your picks and your dowel and the ribbon, or the cordage to end your kahili. You get everything. So the only thing you have to bring is yourself, and bring a towel for the table. We always work on a towel.
Hmm.
Always, always.
Okay, so here is the kamoi. Tell us about the features of the kamoi, and uh, that is one of the lays that we'll be working on the workshop.
Yeah, this style is called kamoi, or lei vili kamoi, and so it's round, of course, but the feathers lay down, thus the name moi or kamoi. The feathers lay flat, and then we
Ah,
tie the feathers to the base.
like moi moi.
So your right, exactly, exactly. So your ultimate goal is a smooth, round lay that looks kind of velvet like. That's your goal. Um, so it takes exactly like what you're wearing.
This was done by Kumu Hulu Mokelani Ricard, who passed away,
Mm-hmm.
and this was a makana from
Mm-hmm.
her through her son Chris that
Yeah.
I again treasure. I took it out of the box just like Kumu Rona mentioned. It's in a very special place, and nothing going to happen to it. And I thought I would wear it
Mm-hmm.
today because so this it's a kamoi that our the Haumana are going to enjoy making. Good. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Nice, nice, nice. And then um, on the next day is this Pa'alima. Tell us about that, Kumu.
Yeah, so this is Kahili Pa'alima. So Kahili, first of all, is a feather standard. There's different types. There's basically three types of Kahili. So there's a Kahili Ku, which is the tall Kahili, and they, you know, today we make them 10 feet tall. Back back in the days of our kupuna, they could have been 30 feet tall
Wow.
or even taller sometimes. But the kahili signified the presence of ali'i. Yeah, when you saw kahili, you knew that ali'i were present. Um, and those kahili typically were made more with seabird feathers because the feathers were larger, because kahili was kept outdoors, and the seabird feathers were more better suited for the outdoor, being blown as the wind would blow and so forth. Anyhow, now kahili pa'alima is a smaller version held in the hand. That's the pa'alima.
Ah,
Yeah.
just like this one. This
So
is a
it's
workshop. Where was this? Was a workshop. Look at these folks. I mean, you
that
have,
was that was that's that workshop was in Sacramento.
wow.
Yeah.
Uh, and look at the look how the smiles that we did this together. You get from a young man over there on the left hand side to a kupuna, looks like she's in a wheelchair or she's sitting, and all ages in between. So
Yeah.
beautiful, Kumu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kahili pa'alima they're beautiful. They're fun to make. But the significance of the kahili pa'alima, commonly it was held or used by the women, you know, say a lady in waiting, yeah, or an attendant to the mo'i wahine or the ali'i wahine, or whatever status they were. So the attendant would use this to create a breeze
Ah.
for the ali'i wahine. Um, but sometimes the ali'i would go indoors and the kahili were too tall to go inside. So they would then substitute the kahili ku with the kahili pa'alima.
Ah.
So yeah, so they would use it in that sense as well. Um, in today's time, though we don't use the kahili in that same sense, we still honor and respect it for what it signifies. And so, I tell, and you'll hear me say this at the workshop. Once you put a feather onto what we use now, a dowel, yeah. Once we put the feather on the dowel, it is a kahili. The feather is on there. It's a kahili. So we respect it as such. So the kahili is never to lay down. It always stays upright. Yeah. And so it's interesting to see how people forget, and then once it tips over, and then they remember, then they're finding something to prop it up. And
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, we still honor and respect it as it was.
Wow.
I mentioned there were three types, and I just want to share this just for the sake of information. Um, so the kahili ku, the kahili pa'alima, you sometimes hear something called kahili lele, Lele, kahili lele. And most people think that a kahili lele and a kahili pa'alima are the same thing. They look the same, they look exactly the same, but their purpose is different. Yeah. So the kahili pa'alima was what I described. The kahili lele, on the other hand, was used for something completely different. Kahili lele was only utilized or seen at a ho'oleva or a funeral service.
Oh.
And they would actually dance. There was a choreographed dance that was done with the kahili over the body of the deceased.
Wow.
And that, therefore, the waving or the movement of the kahili over the body, hence the name lele, kahili lele. Yeah. Um, and then that's the only time the kahili was ever brought out or seen,
Was
was
it
for that
black? Was it
purpose.
black feathers? Did they use black feathers for that one?
Most often, yes.
Because
Most often.
yes, because I've seen those at funeral processions with
Mm-hmm.
what have I seen? Yeah, yeah. Wow. Okay. Wow. That's beautiful information. Mahalo for sharing that. We're going to take on a small kind of break, and then we're going to come right back. We're here. If you just joined us, talking about the Lehulu, California, in collaboration with the Sandwich Island Social Network. Two workshops coming up Saturday, October 14th, and Sunday, October 15th. On the 14th, the Kahili Pa'alima that we've been talking about, and then on Sunday, the Levili Kamoy, and that's going to be in Camarillo. And there's all the information right there. If you want to book, you can go to Hulu Hawaii 2022 at gmail.com. There's a phone number right there, 714-535-7015. And then when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about a couple of extra things that are going to be happening that weekend too. That's going to be a lot of fun. So hang in there. We'll be right back after a couple of these very appropriate messages. Be right back. Yes, indeed. A couple of very, very cool things coming up tomorrow, which is Aloha Friday. We'll be talking with Roy Yamaguchi and his wife Denise. Roy is a Pacific Rim cuisine chef, Roy's Restaurants, and his wife is one of the founders of the Food and Wine Festival, a very large food and wine festival that's been going on in Honolulu. And then next week, Tuesday, sitting with one of the original crew members of the Voyaging Canoes, one of the builders of the Hiki Analea, Hiapo Edgar. It's going to be a very, very great conversation with the visit of the Hokulea here in Southern California coming through the West Coast all through the month of October. Look for various different announcements coming out on our Facebook page, San Magellan Social Network, Kamaka Brown, and Hawaiians and Hawaiians at Heart. All those Facebook pages will keep you updated on the movement of the Hokulea in Southern California. We're back. Welcome back. We're talking to Kumu Mele Kahalepuna Chun from her home in on Oahu on the Aina up in Wilhelmina Rise. And what is the name of your popoki? What is that, the cat's name? Because we love it.
My
Cat.
popoki?
Yes,
Baba. Her name is Baba.
that's a good Hawaiian name. Where you put the okina? Is it baba'a? But no, we're very pet friendly on our show. So anytime there's no scared, you get dogs barking, it's all good. It's all good, like that. Kumu Rona, we've been talking about how wonderful it is that you and your halau will be hosting the event next weekend. How wonderful that you are going to be with us there. And your halau right here. Tell us about where this picture was taken with your halau, Kumu.
Ah, this is one of my favorite pictures. This was a journey, a huaka'i that we took to Big Island in 2017.
Wow.
We were fortunate enough to have our hula legacy represented there. There's Kumu Sylvia and Edgar on the left, and there's Kumuluwana there next to me. And this kind of represents a year and a half journey of us learning as a halau, learning and teaching the chants and dances appropriate to give makana to Pele. And we used Mary Monarch as an opportunity to be able to do that. So we did this before that week, and the leis that we made are all from the island. We made them as a halau together, learning, of course, how to do those beforehand. My other favorite pictures are of everyone, the Haumana, giving their ho'okupu to Pele after that was done. And then when was this? Oh, this was maybe last year. Um, yeah, we were lucky enough to participate locally, to perform locally in Oxnard for the AAPI festival.
Wow.
Yeah. And, we like to take our hula out to the beach in the elements and nature
Ooh,
sometimes.
that's nice.
Kumu Mele is, in Hawaii, and we're on the mainland. And we practice hula in either a room or a garden, and rarely do we get. We try to bring Hawaii here if we can't go there. So it's a really it's kind of a goal to always be able to connect with nature and with people that can help us do that.
That
Yeah, and
is
that was this year at the AAPI, another AAPI festival with Alakai Lena Ala to my right and Alakai Momilani to my left. Getting to ho'opa'a and chant together was a very special moment for us.
I have a special place in my heart for your halal. Having met the ladies and all of the hula family, the gentlemen and the dads and all of that. It's such a wonderful group, and they definitely reflect the love and the aloha and the passion of their kumu for all things hula, and mahalo for doing keeping that going here in Ventura, which is huge for us. Now, we talked about it's going to be so wonderful to have Kumu Mele with us, and that weekend. And then you said Kamaka, why don't we fill in the blanks? Kamaka, why don't we?
Get everyone together and have a good time. We are all, this came out of a call and a need from, not just my halal, but other people in our community. Um, it's really like a post-COVID thing. We want to see each other. We want to be with each other. We want to meet each other. We want to dance hula, play ukulele. So why don't we do this all at one time?
Okay.
And another part of our hula ohana is Lorian Sanders and the band. And luckily, Lorian is an ukulele virtuoso and she is a wonderful teacher as well. She's leading this ukulele jam. We're very blessed to have her do that. All the set list is a done deal right now. So we've invited all of the ukulele groups in the area to come and let's meet each other, see each other, and play together. And then the hula people. There are hula people out here in our area that we don't know. There are some that we do know, but let's let's all get together and Kani Kapila together. Some of those songs are on the set list. I'll give you a little sneak peek. Hanale Moon, Ka'uluwe Ke Kai. We can all get up and dance our own versions of that. Hula people have not had the opportunity since COVID to just, be together. I don't care who you are, what group you're from, just come and say aloha, be part of our community. And we're lucky enough to be sponsored by Kala Brand Music and as well as Anacapa Ukulele are all donating ukuleles. We're giving them away. We've got 4 in hand. Um, that's going to be a wonderful thing. And now we're able to support Maui. We've identified Maui Food Bank as an organization that we're going to be having a table to donate to. The vendors, we have Auntie Marie from Lucky Mango coming
Yay,
and
Lucky
bringing her
Mango.
pop-up shop.
We love Auntie Mai.
Auntie Marie, we're looking forward. Yep, we've got Anacapa Ukulele will have a booth out there. They've got new classes coming up that you're going to hear about. Hokuloa Outrigger Paddling Club is getting ready for their keiki paddling season.
Nice.
We're going to learn about that. I mean, you know, just our community. We're one community. We should all know each other. We
Oh
have a
yeah.
wonderful Hawaii club out here, and those members are coming. So why not? Yeah, we are almost at capacity for that. That is an RSVP only event. Unfortunately, we have to abide by building codes and rules and all that, and we want to be invited back. So
So you're capping it at
we
5,000. Is that true? That's the.
yeah, that's it. Not 5001. So unfortunately, we're going to be turning off the RSVP very soon. I'm getting with the building tomorrow and finalizing that. But it is an RSVP only event, and we're almost there. But we want to see as many people as possible.
Halal805.org. Halal805.org. That will get you into um, more information about that and RSVP. You can pop on the button. Be careful because Kumuro is going to deactivate that very soon. So, um, halal.
Oh, and it's not just if you play ukulele or dance hula.
Hmm,
Most people are just coming to enjoy the music and enjoy being around each other.
okay. I do sock puppets. Can I? Can I? No, it's okay. Um, just just asking. I've been I've been practicing, but you got to use clean socks. I heard. Anyway, okay. So wow, it's it's going to be
Sock puppets, I'm putting that on the list.
it's going to be a wonderful weekend. We want to encourage our friends to definitely come down and join us for the weekend. Kumu Mele is coming all the way from the Aina. She might bring her popoke. We're not sure, but I'm just putting no. I'm putting the invitation out. We are popoke friendly, so if your heart moves you and you wanna, please do that. And so, anything else you'd like to add, Kumumele, before we say aloha for hui ho?
Well, first of all, I just want to mahalo you, Kamaka, Mahalo for asking me to do this. Um, Mahalo Kumurona for hosting. Because I wasn't aware that Hulu hasn't been in your area before, so I'm excited to introduce Hulu to Ventura County. Thank you so much. Because most of my haumana come from Orange. Um, so this is going to be wonderful that we're going to be exposing new people to this wonderful art and grow the interest throughout California. I also want to say mahalo to Lehulu of California um, for also allowing me to be their kumu. And we didn't even get into that part of it,
Yeah.
so mahalo to Chris Reichert and um, for allowing us to be a part, Lehulu of California, to be a part of this. And I'm excited about next week. Mahalo.
Look, we have one question just in from Megan. Hi, Megan. We love Megan. She says, Kumu Mele, after you make the kahili pa'alima, where is a good place to display it in our home? So excited to see everyone next week. I know, right, Megan? So that's a question for you, Kumu Mele.
Um, a lot of people display it, in their living room, or you know, maybe they have a picture or a painting up on the wall and they want to enhance that. A lot of people do it right at the entranceway
Hmm.
of when you walk into the home. Um, it depends on you, but somewhere that it's seen and in a place that it can receive the respect and honor that it deserves.
Good answer. I like that. Anything you'd like to add, Kumu Rona, for before we say aloha to everyone?
Oh, I was sorry. I'm saying aloha to Auntie K. I'm
Oh,
like,
Auntie
hi,
Kate.
Auntie K. I'll see you soon. No, mahalo nui to Kumu Mele for opening up this opportunity for Ventura County to participate and learn. We can't always go to Hawaii, but Hawaii can come to us. So thank you, and Uncle Kamaka, thank you for having us on and sponsoring the Kanikapila event, and look forward to the whole next weekend.
It's gonna be fun. So I know, right? Kumumeli was saying most of it is in Orange County in that area, and I was saying, oh, all the orange people. I said, but Ventura is the new blue. Okay, that's the blue zone. It's the blue zone, like the ocean. So Ventura is we're gonna call it the blue zone. There are other meanings to blue zone, but we're gonna capture that one. That Ventura is the blue zone. So welcome to the blue zone, Kumumele. Not just the orange. Okay, come to the blue.
I
come,
love blue. I love blue.
come to the blue side, Luke. Come to the blue side. uh, well, it has been so much fun talking story with the two kumus. Or actually, like I said at the beginning, we get three kumus over here. We get Kumu Hulu Mele and Kumu Hula Kumurona, and Kumu Kolohe, all right over here on the Talk Story Thursday today. Thank you so much. We're going to say ahui ho. We're going to see you next week. Next weekend, going to be good fun. Everybody, take a look at your calendars. Make sure that you got it. You got it all set over there so that we can enjoy you um, next week. All righty, we're going to say aloha and hang on, everybody. We'll see you on our next weekend for our great workshop. There we go. Aloha no.
Aloha.
Aloha, hui hoi.